The Langar spoon, seva and equality. The sweet smell of kirtan and warm dal filled the air, and Simran's heart beat as fast as the tabla player's fingers. Today was the day. At 10 years old, she was finally old enough for proper Langar seva, selfless service, at the Gurdwara. All week she had dreamt of the most important job of all, serving hot, fluffy rotis in the main hall. She imagined herself walking gracefully down the long rows of people, placing a roti on each plate, receiving grateful smiles. Everyone would see her. Everyone would know she was doing the most important work. Her best friend, Jaskir, bounced on her toes beside her. "I hope we get to work together," she whispered. Simran nodded, but secretly she hoped for a solo starring role. They joined the line of volunteers in the courtyard, waiting for Sardar Balwinder Singh, the seva coordinator, to assign the day's tasks. He was a tall man with a kind face and a bright orange turban that was impossible to miss. He read from a small notebook, his voice booming over the courtyard. "Auntie Jaswinder, you'll be on dal. Uncle Harpreet on vegetable cutting." Simran held her breath. "Jaskir," Sardar Balwinder Singh announced, "you have quick hands. You will help serve rotis in the main hall today." Jaskir's face lit up like a firework. She beamed at Simran, who felt a sharp pang of jealousy. Then he turned to her. "And Simran," he said with a warm smile, "we have a very important job for you in the kitchen. We need a strong helper with the dishes." The words hit Simran like a bucket of cold water. Dishes. In the noisy, steamy, hidden-away kitchen. That wasn't important. That was just washing up. She forced a smile and nodded, but the happy balloon of excitement inside her had completely deflated. Simran stood before a mountain of steel plates, bowls, and spoons. The kitchen was loud, with the clang of pots and the hiss of steam. Her job was to scrub the plates clean after they had been scraped. The water was warm and soapy, but Simran's mood was cold and gray. Every plate she washed felt like a failure. Clank. Jaskir is probably serving the Grand Biji right now. Clank. Everyone is smiling at her. Clank. No one even knows I'm here. She scrubbed harder than she needed to, her knuckles turning red, her heart full of a grumpy, prickly jealousy. Needing a break from the steam and her own sour thoughts, Simran wiped her hands on her apron and crept to the kitchen doorway. She peeked into the Langar hall, and the sight made her forget her grumpiness for a moment. It was vast and full of light. Hundreds of people were sitting in neat rows, or pangets, on long mats that stretched across the floor. There were no chairs, no tables, and no special sections. A man in a crisp business suit sat cross-legged next to a farmer whose hands were rough from working in the fields. Everyone's head was covered, and everyone sat at the same level. She watched as volunteers moved quietly and efficiently down the aisles. One volunteer carried a large steel bucket, and with a long-handled spoon, the Langar spoon, he poured the same fragrant dal onto every plate. The spoon didn't stop to see if the plate belonged to someone rich or poor, old or young. It just served. A gentle hand rested on Simran's shoulder. She turned to see a Biji, an elderly woman with deep, kind eyes and a smile that crinkled her whole face. "This is the heart of the Gurdwara, little one," Biji said softly. "We all sit together as equals, to share a meal prepared with love. That is pangat. Every task done to feed the pangat is seva," Biji continued, her voice like a soft melody. "The farmer who grows the lentils, the person who chops the onions, the one who stirs the pot, the one who serves the roti, and the one who washes the plate so it is clean for the next person. They are all connected, all equally important. The Langar spoon doesn't ask who it is feeding. Your hands, my dear, are doing the same work as that spoon. They are serving everyone. Simran looked down at her own soapy, wrinkled hands. Could it be true? Simran walked back to the washing station, Biji's words echoing in her mind. Your hands are doing the same work as that spoon. But the jealousy was a stubborn stain she couldn't quite scrub away. Annoyed at Jaskir, annoyed at herself for feeling annoyed, she grabbed a tall, slippery stack of clean plates to move them to the drying rack. She knew it was too many, but she was in a hurry. Her soapy fingers, still slick with water, lost their grip. For a heart-stopping second, the tower of plates tilted, and then it came crashing down. Crash, clang, bong! The noise was deafening. The steel plates scattered across the stone floor, spinning and ringing like a dozen angry alarm bells. Every head in the kitchen turned to stare. Simran's face burned hot with shame. Her first instinct was to blame the soap, the water, anything but herself. But then she saw Biji's calm face across the room. She took a deep breath, her small voice trembling slightly. "I'm sorry," she said clearly. "It was my fault. I was careless." As she began to pick up the plates, she noticed how disorganized the whole washing area was. "Wait," she said, a new thought pushing through her embarrassment. "I have an idea." She quickly reorganized the workflow, creating a human chain. One volunteer to scrape, another for the first rinse, her in the middle for the deep scrub, and two more to rinse again and stack for drying. The clatter and chaos subsided, replaced by a quiet, efficient rhythm. Later, the kitchen work was nearly done. Simran felt a quiet hum of satisfaction instead of jealousy. Carrying a jug of cool water, she walked into the now emptying Langar hall. She saw an elderly man lean forward, trying to reach the main water container. Without a thought, and without needing to be asked, Simran went to him and gently refilled his steel cup. She then moved down the row, refilling the cups of others. Just as she finished, Granthi Ji, the wise head priest, approached her. "I saw what you did today," he said, his voice calm and kind. He smiled, not just dropping the plates, but leading the others to fix the problem. "And I saw you serve water, not for praise, but because it was needed. That is true seva. You have understood the lesson of the Langar spoon. Equality is something you do." Simran looked up at him, and her heart felt full and bright. She hadn't served the Rotis, but she had served. And that, she now knew, was the most important job of all.